The Color of Fall, Chapter 7. Amber's days in Maplewood had begun to blend together, each one more enchanting than the last. She found herself falling into a comfortable routine, spending mornings exploring the town, afternoons at the diner, and evenings walking with Sam through the tree-lined streets. The small town had cast a spell over her, making it harder to imagine returning to the bustling chaos of her city life. Today the air was crisp and clear, the sky a bright blue that contrasted beautifully with the golden leaves carpeting the ground. Amber made her way to the diner, where she found Sam outside, busy hanging a string of lights along the edge of the awning. He turned as she approached, his face lighting up with that familiar, warm smile. "Getting ready for something?" she asked, tilting her head back to look at the lights. "Yeah, it's for the Harvest Festival," Sam replied, reaching down to tighten a few more lights in place. "It's a big deal around here. Music, food, crafts, all the small-town stuff that are made of." Amber's heart lifted at the thought. That sounds amazing. How long has the festival been around? "Since before I was born," Sam said with a chuckle. "It's one of those traditions that just never fades. Everyone in town comes together for it. It's something special." She could hear the pride in his voice, and it warmed her. This festival wasn't just an event. It was a piece of Maplewood's heart. "Do you need help with anything?" Sam shrugged, glancing around. "I won't say no to an extra set of hands. I still need to decorate the inside, and I'm making a special menu for the weekend." They spent the rest of the morning preparing for the festival. Amber helped Sam set up tables and hang more lights around the diner. The town had already started to buzz with excitement, people stopping by to say hello, asking Sam about the festival and what he had planned. As they worked, Amber found herself feeling more and more like a part of this close-knit community. When they finally took a breath, Sam pulled out a couple of sandwiches, and they sat outside soaking up the sunshine. The conversation was easy, flowing from the one topic to the next, their laughter mingling with the gentle breeze. Amber leaned back in her chair, letting her gaze wander over the bustling streets. "This festival, it must take a lot of work to put it together." "It does, but it's worth it," Sam replied, looking out at the town with a sense of pride. "Everyone pitches in, and by the time it's all set up, you can feel the energy in the air. It brings everyone together. I think that's why people love it so much." Amber smiled, resting her hands on her lap. "I'm really glad I'm here to see it." He turned to her, his expression thoughtful. "Me too. You're starting to feel like one of us." The words filled her with a warmth she hadn't expected, and she realized just how deeply Maplewood had embedded itself in her heart. "You know, I wasn't planning on staying this long. I thought I'd be gone by now." "What changed your mind?" Sam asked, his eyes never leaving hers. Paused, searching for the right words. "It's hard to explain. There's something here that I didn't know I was looking for. It's like I finally found a place that feels like home." A soft smile played on Sam's lips, and he reached out, his hand brushing hers. "Maybe you were meant to find it." They shared a quiet moment, the world around them fading into the background. Amber felt her heart racing, but it wasn't from fear or uncertainty. It was a thrill of sense of excitement she hadn't felt in years. She had come to Maplewood on a whim, but now she was beginning to think it was fate. As they cleared up after their lunch, Amber noticed a small gathering forming in the square down the street. She glanced over, curious, and Sam followed her gaze. "Looks like they're starting the preparations for the festival," he said. "Want to take a walk and check it out?" Amber nodded eagerly, and they made their way toward the square, where a group of locals were setting up booths and hanging banners. The air was filled with the scent of freshly baked pies, and the sound of laughter drifted through the crowd. They strolled through the square, stopping to chat with the vendors and sample treats from the booths. Sam introduced her to everyone they met, his arm brushing against hers as they moved from stall to stall. With each introduction, Amber felt more welcome and more connected to this place that had already claimed a piece of her heart. As they wandered through the festival preparations, Amber found herself swept up in the joy and simplicity of it all. There was a magic in the air, a sense of togetherness that she had never felt in the city. It was as though Maplewood was opening itself up to her, inviting her to stay, to become part of this story. When they returned to the diner, the sun was beginning to set, casting a warm glow over the town. Sam leaned against the counter, his eyes reflecting the fading light as he looked at her. "Thank you," Amber said softly, her heart full, "for sharing this with me. I didn't realize how much I needed this." Sam reached out, his hand gently brushing hers. "You don't have to thank me. I'm just glad you're here." They stood there for a moment, the quiet settling around them like a warm blanket. Amber felt a sense of peace, a feeling that maybe, just maybe, she had found something real, something lasting. As she made her way back to her guest house that evening, Amber couldn't shake the thought that Maplewood had become more than just a stop on her journey. It was becoming a place where she could see herself staying, building a life, and finding love in the simplest of moments. And as she glanced back at the diner, the lights twinkling in the gathering dusk, she knew that her heart was already beginning to call this place home. If you like this chapter, please leave a comment and like it and share it with your friends and family. And stay tuned for Chapter 8 of The Color of Fall. Thank you.